Look at the bomb that went off in here. Oh, we'll get a Nova update in a minute. Let me answer a subscriber email here. I had a question on a Volkswagen motor, and let me get where I can answer it. Basically, they wanted to know if the Scat Volstroker engine combo was a good buy. I think the Scat stuff's probably, one of the better choices out there right now. I don't know what Berg offers as far as cranks and engine kits anymore. I don't think you can buy a one-piece crank unless you want to wait like a year. And if you need that kind of crank, there's probably no substitute, I guess. It's probably not the crank that it used to be back in the early 80s. And Scat cranks work pretty well. I've never had a problem with any of their parts. Depending on how hard you're going to run the motor, you might want to upgrade the rods. But as far as the crank goes for street use and at the compression ratio that you were talking about, 8.65 to 1, you'll be fine. The Scat rod's good probably for about 200 horsepower. When you start going a little higher than that, you probably want to buy a Potter rod. And still, the Scat crank is good all the way up to, we've run it up to probably about 600 horsepower now in Noel's car, and had no issue with it. And I run one in my car. That's pretty much a Scat motor in the drag car over here in the maze of parts. And we're going to be taking this apart soon. I'm going to pull this out and service the motor. So we'll get a look at this. This is a Volstroker chrome moly. I think they call this the billet 4130 race crank. And I've had this since I guess about 1985. So the crank's pretty old. The rods are a set of bug pack rods that Gene Berg put bolts in for me and resized. And the bolts cost more than probably 2 sets of the rods. I think the rods are $250 and the bolts are $400. So yeah, I think you'd be fine with one of their long blocks. One of their engines work really well. It comes completely assembled. You just got to tell them exactly what you're going to do with it, and they'll be able to build the motor for what you need. The only problem you run into is when you call them and don't tell them that you plan on beating on it, and then they build you something out of a bunch of cast parts, and it's not what you need. But I think you'll be good with the Scat stuff. Like you said, there's probably not a big difference. I think some of the Berg cranks, I don't even know if they still offer a welded up crank where they weld it, put counterweights on it, and grind it. I think you're going to be far happier with the Scat stuff right now. It's probably the best out there on the market. So dollar for dollar, that's the way to go. So I hope that answers your question. I don't know if you put your name on this this page there, John. So John, hope that helps you out. I'm going to be putting that 2110 together soon. Just got to get the shop reorganized, and then you can follow on that build, or you can buy a long block. They do sell engine kits, and it's considerably cheaper to buy kits. Seabury Performance sells a really nice kit too. So on the Nova, I did get the headers back out so we can paint those, and I got to try to buy a box at the car show coming up this weekend. That's a pretty big show, so I've been driving over there, and there's a lot of vendors already at hotels, so I think I'll be able to get everything I need as far as parts to finish this thing. I got the rear end out of it today. There's what we're dealing with. It's got drum brakes on the back there. It's got the long studs in there. There's factory axles, so we're going to probably put some aftermarket axles in there, maybe a disc brake kit on the back, and then just go through the third member, either upgrade that one or buy a new center section, and we'll get the housing cleaned up. Somebody wanted to know how wide this housing was, and it's 52 inches from backing plate to backing plate. And then I bought the Moroso pad kit and just re-welded the pads. This thing's got leaf springs on the back that are really jacked up. Let me see if I can get in here and show you that. I gotta figure out what to do here. These were supposedly re-arched. When I was younger, I took it to a spring shop because what I did here was put the competition engineering spring relocating kit in the back, and it moves the spring in, and that's not the issue when you're trying to put a tire on a Nova. Come to find out, it's the shock. Shock usually mounts right here on the frame rail there, and I've eliminated that, and like put a little mini tub in this years ago, crudely, but pre-Detroit speed, you know what I mean? However, the leaf spring deal, when you put that competition engineering leaf spring kit in the car, it moves the back of the spring over and the front of the spring stays in the stock location. So what that does is it loaded the spring up and made the car sit up really high in the back. You can put a huge tire in here, however, but I don't really like the looks of the spring. The car always worked really well and had these slapper bars, and it'd do big old wheel stands with the nitrous. I got good pictures of this thing somewhere. I'll have to dig them up. But with the big block in it, I want to beef the back up. I don't know if I'm going to do a ladder bar setup or whatever. There's usually a couple suspension companies at the show, and maybe we can pick up something to fix the back of this up. I have to do some welding and stuff on the floor. I need to put a shock kit in because I actually had the shocks mounted to the actual floor of the car, and it cracked the floor. So I need to weld the floor up before I put the bed liner under there, finish that up, and then get these springs out of here. If nothing else, all the bushings are bad, so we'll have to do something with those and get those fixed up. You can see they're just deteriorated. This car's been sitting for a good 16 years, I guess. It's been since it's run. I did put these quarter panels on, put some floor drops in. I think you can see that. That's a new floor drop over there. It never got primed or anything. It's just welded in. And I just need to go over all the welds, stuff like that. You can see a couple plug welds. I just wasn't trying to make it perfect when I did this. The more I clean it up, the more I find, and the more I have to fix. So I'm going to try to get Hans to help me pull some of that stuff out of the trunk tomorrow. I need 2 people to do that because I have to... Hey, can you cats help? No. But anyway, I have to pull all the spring relocator kits out and move them. And then I got to pull that the battery boxes out. I was looking at the rule book, and the batteries have to be completely sealed now. So we'll pull those out, update those boxes. I dug up the battery cable. That's still all good. Got the nitrous line, got a filter for that, and I did pick up the fuel line right here. I made that line, and I haven't gone anywhere with it yet. I did put a fitting here, and I think I'm going to turn this around on the back side so all the fuel's coming in for the nitrous solenoid and all that in the back, and I'll hide it on the firewall, and then I don't know where the firewall or the, what do you call those? I don't know, wheel wells. But anyway, wherever those are going to be, I have to mount 2 of these, run the line on the frame rail there, probably on the outside of the frame rail, and try to plumb these 2 solenoids or regulators, solenoids. Plumb the nitrous regulator and then the carburetor regulator there, and stuff like that. I did run this wire here on the alternator, and I just got it heat strengthened in a thing. I'm going to run that underneath and hide that. I got a cable for the starter, but it was too long. And I got some more goodies in this box down here. I did find a continuous duty solenoid. Got a switch for the on-off switch for the trunk. I picked up this regulator here. It looked a little sweeter. And some more fittings. You never have enough fittings. But here's the Here's the continuous duty, heavy duty solenoid. That's what I was trying to buy when I asked the guy if he had a heavy duty one, and he gave me this one. So you can see the difference in the construction there. So this one's a little better. It's made more for continuous use. I don't know how much power I can pull off of that, but enough to run over to some sort of relay. I'll do a fuse panel or something for the accessories. It does have brass terminals and stuff, but I think I'll go with the metal one here. So got to make a plate for the firewall still. I got the MSD all wired up pretty much. Dug up the dry shaft loop there. I have to have a dry shaft made, and I'll wait and do that after I get the rear end fixed and figure out what I'm going to do with that. So anyway, I might start it because after I plumb the fuel, I'll be able to at least fire the motor up. I did get the alternator done, so I got to buy a belt for that, but the alignment's really nice. I tried a belt off the Ventura there. It's way too big, but as far as the alignment goes, it's pretty cool. I saw where what is it, 396 Rat, I'm probably messing his channel up, but he's got a Nova and he put a deep pulley on his alternator. This one's pretty deep. We'll have to see if it throws the belt off. I noticed that his alternator is on this side, that he has power steering and stuff. But that's the setup right there. Got this little turnbuckle deal to adjust it. This is pretty slick, I guess. And I bought a new bracket down here. So I'm going to have quite a few parts left over. We'll have to do a little, after I get it all done, I'll lay everything on the floor and see if anybody needs anything. I saw where Larry was working on putting the LS in his Chevelle. I got a bunch of these different mounts. I don't know if you could, if you need any of this stuff. But, I don't know. Let me know. If you need some of those, I can send them your way, because I think I'm good to go with mine. I've had both headers on, and Tom Noble sent me those. So if somebody else needs them, I'll send them out. I think they're actually the OE brand. They were actually still brand new in the package. So I have two of them, yeah. So if you need them, let me know, Larry. I'll send them to you. And yeah, I gotta get that caliper. Remember the caliper, one of them says Delco Marine on it, and the other one says made in China. I guess it's got nothing on it. But anyway, that's what's going on. I'm gonna paint those headers just because you guys are watching. If I wasn't making videos, I probably would have just bolted them on and ran them. But I need to pick up a water temperature gauge. I think this one's broken. I remember being at the track and somebody coming up grabbing, oh wow, I remember them grabbing the line while I was sitting in the staging lanes. They didn't like the way it was mounted, and they went to bend it, and when they bent it, it broke the line. Let's see if I can pop that out of there. Yeah, it's just sitting in there. So I have to pick one of those up. And the list is getting smaller though. And yeah, should be coming to an end here. And then we'll have to be painting it. I guess I found some orange paint. I think I'm going to use that. Which I know some of you are like, orange. But anyway, I got a bunch of it. I bought a bunch of PPG stuff. And I got a couple gallons of orange toner, which will make about 5 or 6 gallons of paint. And that'll be a good color for this because I want to paint it in pieces, and it'll be single stage. So we'll do orange, maybe with some black stripes or something. That'll look okay, and it'll match the motor. But that's where we're at. I put those rockers on, and I sold those other rockers to Scott. I already sent those off. And yeah, he's got those. We gotta adjust these. These went on really nice. They had poly locks and everything, and worked out good. Scott will use those on his 396. And we got those bad boys. And I have to check the geometry, but it should be okay. It's got a really tiny cam in it right now, so the heads are set up for bigger, but we went sort of smaller. I always buy too big of a cam, and you know, this time I tried to pick the smaller one. You know, the one I liked, I picked the one underneath it. So because I wanted to be able to drive this motor around, and then if I change the engine out, it'll be a nice, you know, mellow big block that's drivable. Not that a, you know, more radical motor wouldn't be, but they have their drawbacks, you know what I mean? This one might too, I don't know. But what else did I get the other day? I bought this return spring kit, and I got a gauge. This is the new carburetor setup. The one on the car now leaks. It's brand new, but it leaks. And yeah, I got a few more clamps. And that's about it. The box is getting empty, so that's a good thing. Gonna take these ARP starter bolts back. They were too long. Got to figure out where to put this switch. It used to be in the tail light actually, but I don't think that'd be a good idea for the street. Actually, you know, the tail light works and everything, but looked like Fido's ass, as one of my friends liked to say when we were younger. It looks like Fido's ass. You can't do that, but you know, I usually did it. I don't even know if I have the light left. Nope, gone. Piece of history lost forever. Well, anyway, I've rambled long enough. I'm gonna let you guys go. Don't forget, if you were in the 10,000 subscriber giveaway, to make sure to send your address in to Andrea's email there, ladycadillac.com, whatever, Yahoo. She gave you the correct address there in the video. But anyway, claim your prize if you haven't already. Thanks for playing the game. And I'm going to go ahead and go inside, probably shut this thing down. And it's a new day tomorrow. Oh, I did put the shocks on too. I don't know if I showed you that, but those are in there. Got the new hardware all in there. Bought new bolts for the bottom, so it's all nice. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to buying this, but it sounds pretty ratchet in there. It's rough. This is a SS box, non-power steering, super small. And I think if I had any other box in there, this big block wouldn't work with the headers because it's real tight right there. But it does go in. They fit really nice. So looking forward to the show coming up. Turkey Rod Runs, pretty big show over in Daytona. This is the big one. They have 2 of them. But the Thanksgiving Day show is the good one. That's my birthday this year, is actually Thanksgiving Day. So I'm going to go over there and I'm going to buy a hood and the front end pieces so we can put this thing together and drive this thing. I guess that's the plan. Fire it up. I know I wanted to fire it up before my birthday. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. We'll see. Doing my best, but I might need more parts. I need to get a carburetor. This is off the doodle bug in there. So, alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I don't think this carburetor would ever work on this motor. It'd be way too fat. But we might buy a new carburetor, and that'll eliminate all the excitement. I do have the burnt up carburetor over here we need to repair off the Pontiac. I got enough pieces to fix that. So, let me go. This battery's going to die. Don't forget to push that record button. Make it the best day you can, and have a good one.